Welcome to another 5-minute bat rep for the channel. This time I break out the Thousand Suns again, to see what they're like with this armor of contempt nonsense. So, first up hits the rosters, then we'll start the timer. So we roll up Tide of Conviction again, although this is a different opponent to my previous report. For secondaries, I take Mutate, Stranglehold, and Banners, while Craftworld's take Engage, Scout the Enemy, and No Prisoners. Here's deployment. Before we continue, a couple of things to note. 1. Yes, I'm fielding a Mafugin Vindicator Laser Destroyer.
How'd that get in there?
2. We're playing on top of a standard 6x4 mat, but a 60x44 size battle area has been created by using the Battlefield Conversion Kit from Kraken War Games. Quicker to set up than the wooden ones I've seen, and looks awesome too. Okay, so you can see my deployment pretty clearly. My 10-man termies are in the center and a few of them are in cover, so I'm not too worried about exposing them. The 5-man squad is in deep strike, along with a 5-man squad of Flamer rubrics. Eldar deploy their striking scorpions aggressively. The rest of their stuff is pretty much deployed behind obscuring terrain, and 2 falcons are in deep strike. Eldar get the first turn and move up aggressively. The shining spears stay put out of sight, but the hawks and scorpions come forward, and both falcons come down, with one of them vomiting forth a unit of banshees, ready to make an easy Strands of Fate charge.
All is right in the world.
Absolutely the opposite.
A few buffing powers go off in Psychic, and he dooms the termies, which I fail to stop even with my fancy deny strat. In shooting, he lays into the termies. He has pretty bad luck with one of his falcons, which just ends up missing or failing to wound with everything, but between everything else he manages to kill 5 of them. Armor of Contempt proves to be brutal, but it's not invulnerability, especially against his random hail of doom shuriken stuff. Most painfully, I end up having to spend 3 CP to cut the Hemlock's damage down to 1, or I'd have risked losing nearly the whole unit.
Shit is crazy.
Here's how his backfield looks after shooting. The Hawks and Baharoth jumped back to safety, and his Warp Spiders are spread across 2 objectives. Next, his Banshees fail their Strand of Fate charge, praise be to frickin' Zinch. However, he realizes my Flamer rubrics won't be able to overwatch his Scorpions due to the terrain, so he charges into them. This is where Armor of Contempt becomes insane. Against his AP-1 attacks, my rubrics have a 2-up save. I end up losing just 1 guy, and killing 1 in return.
We're not going away.
In my turn, I kind of shit the bed in terms of organizing ineffective retaliation. The spawn head for the Banshees, the termies move up, and the Demon Prince heads for the Hemlock, but my Exalted stays over on the right near the Flamer rubrics for some reason. Now is absolutely the time to use the crystal to try and get the jump on someone, but I decide to save it? Bad idea. In Psychic, Mutate gets denied, but I give +1 to hit to the Vindicator, a 4-up invo to the termies, and I strip the invulnerable save away from the Hemlock with Twist of Fate, cause I know the Aeldar have a couple of Fate dice they could use for save rolls. I also murder the Scorpions with ease. Shooting sees the Hemlock get deleted, with the Vindicator finishing it off with one of its 6 damage shots.
Oh, wow.
The termies then pop Wrath of the Wronged, but with only 5 of them left they only manage to bring one of the falcons down to 5 wounds. With the Hemlock dead, the Prince, who took a wound from its explosion, manages to charge the Vipers, but they either use Fate dice for save rolls, or just get lucky, and both of the Vipers survive. They even do a frickin' wound to him in return.
Completely ludicrous.
The Spawn kill all the Banshees except for the Exarch, who murders 2 in retaliation. So in Eldar turn 2, He positions 2 of the vehicles so they can fire upon my flamer rubrics and exalted, and he kills everyone there except for 1 rubric. His big guns rip into the termies again, and kill 3 more. The warp spiders and hawks pour everything into the demon prince. With a 2+4++ armor of contempt, and -1 damage, I thought he'd be relatively safe, but the sheer volume of fire, especially the auto-wounding shots from the hawks, proves to be too much, and he gets chipped away to death.
Fuck that.
The 3 spawn over here also die to shooting, and Baharoth charges the rubrics, kills 3, then teleports away to safety. The shining spears easily finish off the other spawn. My turn too, and I only hold 2 objectives down here, so I'm behind on primaries already. This falcon here had charged the 2 termies last turn, to tie them up. My 5-man scarabs deep strike in up here, and slay all the warp spiders in shooting, but fail their charge against the jetbike farseer. The Vindicator is a beast again, finishing off the badly wounded falcon. I also deep strike my 2nd unit of warp flamers in on the right flank and target the shining spears, but only kill 2. The termies fail to finish off this falcon, though, and it even slays the lone warp flamer rubric who'd charged in to help out. I did manage to get a mutate off this turn, but it's kind of irrelevant, ain't it? Eldar turn 3. My flamer rubrics get trivially deleted in Psychic.
They don't know what they've come to and they've brought nothing to the table.
I also lose my 2 rubrics and tardy banner down here, and I am largely pressed into my home objective, so concede. I'm so far behind on both primaries and secondaries, and have scored nothing for stranglehold or banners, so I see BA with a full breakdown, but ending the game at the end of round 3, Eldar would be on about 42 points, to my 21. In fact, they'd have more than that, cause we didn't total up their no prisoners points. Oof, a solid beatdown from Craftworlds. He didn't even need to disembark his dire avengers. Some brief thoughts. As you saw, at times armor of contempt was crazy, and against some armies I'm sure it would make termies seem absolutely unfair, but here there was a potent mix of sheer weight of firepower, good anti-tank, and a bit of Hail of Doom sprinkled in. Holy motherfrickin' shizballs, a full Hail of Doom list seems like it would be insane. I suffered from a lot of decision paralysis in the 2nd turn. When I think I really needed to squeeze everything possible out of my army, I messed up a few key spells and interactions, and really wasted the Exalted and the termies. This is where mixing up the armies so much really bites me in the ass. Ah well. On the plus side, the Vindicator Laser Destroyer really did some work in the short time I used it. If it had a 2+ save like a regular Vindicator, I reckon it'd be up there with the very best. Well, let's get this shit show off the road. Thanks to my opponent, and thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks, bye.